Welcome to Identity Leathercraft. This is a project looking at making a foraging pouch. So I've got a very soft, fine piece of leather here. You could use something from an old sofa, cut up that kind of weight. You want quite a thin leather, or some kind of lamb napper. Like we've got on the website, some lamb napper squares would be perfect. Anything that's kind of thin. Leather is quite good for a foraging bag. It's actually very breathable. It's got kind of this wipeable property on the outside, so it's going to make it quite a good bag. But you could equally use waxed cotton, so you can melt some beeswax into some cotton and make your own kind of waxed cotton bag. So for this pattern I've decided to simplify it a bit, and I've made a sort of long oblong. It's going to fold round like this into three. So I've got a press stud, a line 20 press stud, and this is veg tan that's about 2.0 to 2.5 mil from the economy veg tan selection. I'm going to put a belt loop on the back and put a sand brown there so that I can slightly adjust it and put it on and off my belt as and when I choose. So what I've done is I've made the bag, I've made it inside out, stitched round with my sewing machine on this thinner leather, but you could equally hand sew that together, turned that round, and I've got a little bag. I folded the top over so that when I put the eyelets through, they've got a little bit more of something to go into. So just made a little fold back turning there and put some eyelets in. So I've left 4 holes for the back, and I'm going to put those through the top part of this bit of the pouch, and in that way, when that's secured, that will hold them secure, but it will also continue that round. I guess for those 4 you could probably equally do rivets, but I'm going to take my drawstring through. And then the idea is that the bag will fold up inside the pouch as so. So I'm just going to line up where I want to go through here, and I want to make it above the top so that I'm avoiding this part of my belt loop. Let's just get that centered, and just with a felt tip pen I'm just going to mark through where I want those holes to be, and then they need punching out. So whenever I'm punching using my rotary awl punch, and some people have been asking what this bit is for, I just have a little section of the hoops, the holes, so that I can work out which size I need. So I've actually put one of these eyelets in so that I know, so that's that 3rd one down, and that's how I know what size I need to turn my eyelet tool to. Which should be that one. We'll just do a test before we go ahead. Yep, that's spot on. Now I always use a piece of scrap leather underneath when I'm punching, because I want to get a nice clean punch all the way through. So let's do that. There we go, and the other side. So these holes are a lot bigger than you need to make when you're making rivets. Let's see if the jaws will go up as far as I want, otherwise I'll have to change over to my other punch. Yeah, it's just going to do it perfect. You can see by putting this through, I've got nice clean sharp holes with no jags by putting the scrap leather underneath, so it's definitely worth doing. That one's going to be require a little bit more of a push into place. There we go. So now I can put through my eyelets. So I'm going to push them through from this top. I want to actually come through from the back so that I get it looking nice on the back of the pouch. push them all in place. This should work. You want to just make sure they are pushed and all the way down around, because you're going to need a little bit of peening room. But this top leather is very thin, so we'll give that a try and make sure we've got enough room. So I'm using my peening tool, which is from it's actually the tubular rivet tool, but it works really well for eyelets as well. Probably should have warned you I was banging. That's the first one in, and just keep going and making sure that everything's lining up over. And this has a little center spike, which you need to make sure is in the center of the hole, and then a sort of star shape which splits the eyelet down, folds it back over and pivots. I'm hammering. And that's all now firmly fixed in place, ready for my drawstring and some protection on the outside and my sand brown.